So here we are, Public Transit Strike Day 2. Rick Leckner is our CJAD Wall of Fame traffic reporter, and he is on the line. Rick, how many of these you remember seeing transit strikes over the years?
Oh, my goodness. Almost too many to count, but the longest one was in 1974, and I was trying to jog my memory because I did fly over it, and it lasted for just over 6 weeks. But between 1965 and 1990, Aaron, there were 40 transit disruptions.
That's insane.
Strikes.
That is absolutely crazy. And as I said, we're now finding out beyond the maintenance workers who are off now, bus and metro drivers, they could be next. They've already got a mandate. Look, my question is going to be, as I get to this, whether it's time to just call it a day. We have a bad history with this. What do you think? Is that just too much? I know, they have a right to strike, but this is a public service. It is essential. Beyond the people it's putting out, think of what it's doing to the economy as well. What do you think?
It's it's a great question, but a difficult answer because as far as I know, the only workers who are banned from out-and-out strikes are police, fire, and ambulance. As a matter of fact, Jean Santé voted to strike by 99% a couple of weeks ago, but they can't do very much, fortunately. Transit workers are not universally banned from striking, although in Quebec we have the Essential Services Act, which in fact the Lévesque government put in place back in 1982. So at least there's a minimum of service, as we're experiencing today. But the right to strike is guaranteed in many collective agreements, and this would take an incredible amount of posturing to get something like that passed.
So,
but it's hugely disruptive.
Sure.
There's no question about it.
Yeah. Not just on individual lives, as I said, but on business and everything else, right? It just slows everything down. What's your advice to people who are trying to get through this thing today in terms of getting around?
I think it gets tougher every time. The last strike was 18 years ago, but things have changed. There are less lanes. There's more bike lanes. So we know all the negatives. There are less lanes. There is so much construction. And believe it or not, just to throw a couple of numbers at you, there are roughly 1 million cars in Montreal in 2020. In 2007, there was half that number throughout Quebec. So people's love for cars continues, and carpooling has to be the way to go. We've got to. Otherwise, everybody is just going to continue to suffer. They really have to make plans. Companies should make plans. Individuals have to make plans to do the carpool route and just try or work from home through the period that the strike will be underway.
Yeah, and maybe just to add to that, maybe make the plan that, don't expect this will be over in a day or two. This could go on for a while beyond the 9 days it's in plan right now.
It could. At least, the carrot they've thrown at everybody is that they're not going to strike this weekend during Grand Prix. But as you just pointed out, the bus and metro drivers could very likely have their day or weeks in the foreseeable future, unfortunately.
Rick, I always
never
appreciate
easy,
you
Aaron.
in. No, sir, not in this city. Rick Leckner, our former, currently Wall of Fame traffic reporter, worked for so many years here covering transit, transport, traffic.